Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to celebrate life.
In my work, I am not an identity, I am a font for an essay that moves abstractly in 3D animation.
May we always be visible, because in this world, they would rather see us disappear.
When the Met approached me, I was very excited. The traffic of the Great Hall is around 3 to 4 million people a year. And so I thought, if I could capture people for a moment, what would I do? I had access to build a psychic space that could create a potential new zeitgeist idea, something that ushers in the new freedom and collectiveness. But then I was so scared because I don't think a body like mine would ever think of having such a prominent role of being one of the first artists to do an exhibition of this type in that space. I come from Columbia, South Carolina. When I first saw New York, I was 18 on a field trip to the Met to draw all the objects. I felt like an elephant stepped on my chest from a sublime experience. The Met still shakes me. Even when I was granted the commission, it became much bigger because I had to actually do something in it. That pressure led me to really hone in all my wellness practices. I took a transcendental meditation course in Brooklyn, and then one day I achieved such a crazy transcendent space that I started seeing text. One of the texts that kept appearing was Metta, and I thought it was just me being stupid and thinking about Facebook or the term meta or like meta-narrative or the Met. So I just Googled it. I saw the history of Metta, which is an ancient Buddhist mantra for the loving kindness prayer. The prayer starts with may I, may you, may your, or may we, basically affirming anything that is something you want to make your actual reality in the space that is in front of you or the space that is inside of you. I went and viewed a lot of the galleries and spaces, and I wanted to use objects from every wing. The Met supplied me with 163 scanned images, and I basically composited all of those objects in worlds that I was building to build a new narrative out of them that was disassociated from their original meaning. Because I have a history of working with my mother, Patricia Satterwhite, an artistic genius who was diagnosed with schizophrenia when I was a child, and she was in and out of mental institutions as a young person too. I had the opportunity to do a workshop at a psychiatric ward in Denmark. It added continuity from my previous work with my mother, taking it from a private place to a public place. I wanted each student to create a surrealist collage to become the architectural blueprints for the world that I'm creating. So I brought 100 Xeroxes of the Met collection and gave them without any kind of context or history about them. A lot of the things in the collection were created for institutions complicit with violence and war, surveillance and conquest. And I just wanted to subvert that.
May I rule the world. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I win.
When a visitor walks into the Great Hall, they will walk into a 6-channel film and video installation, and those films will encompass live-action film, 3D animation, and then cinematic video game footage.
May I be a social justice warrior. May I use tradition as a scapegoat.
I wrote 200 Metta prayers and sing them. The score is going to play in the Great Hall. Since I was 2 years old, my escapism was video games. I mean, I often talk about surviving childhood cancer, and I would escape the treatment through playing Final Fantasy and playing Tomb Raider and Metal Gear Solid. I could have chose like a fighting game or a space shooter or a role-playing game, which are all like genres that are about surveillance, violence, conquering, conquest, stealing. The gaming genre that I chose is the endless runner game. You see this thing running aimlessly and jumping over things, but the space never ends. It's all about continuity and continuing and sustaining the endurance of being able to avoid obstacles. I use that as the template for all of my avatars.
Three, two, one, go.
The Met engineered my partnership with NYU Tandem School and NICAP 3D, which was a priceless collaboration and partnership. I had access to their NICAP scan to scan the body to create a video game avatar, and their volumetric scan,
10 seconds.
which is a 3D scanner that captures movement. One of the main avatars is a drag wrestling collective called Chokehold from New Orleans. I thought, what a tongue-in-cheek way to respond to the world's obsession with violence and conquest and masculinity and destruction through a very tender ballet in a wrestling ring. And they also speak to my other collaboration with dancers like O'Shea Sibley, who was tragically killed this summer.
May our modern faith start the revolution against hate.
I was working with his footage in the spring and the summer, and I got a call from the news that he was killed.
As we walk hand in hand.
This is a new world order.
That scene is being expanded upon, and there's a big tribute section for him.
New world order.
Come together, come together. This is a brand new day.
I'm performing the score to the project A Metta Prayer with my band Pat and Moses Sumney and the Chokehold Collective.
Together, we can coexist. Amen. Can I get an amen?
Performance is the most vulnerable and authentic and honest way of getting to the core of what your conceptual foundations are. So every Saturday there's going to be a different performer. All of the performers come from backgrounds rooted in religion or aesthetic dogmas, and they all take the positive things from those spaces and repurpose them in a queered way as a survival mechanism in a normative world. I hope that my installation brings people joy and inspires them to be ambitious in their authentic selves. In this place of extreme highbrow respectability, all the images that I presented are being considered and valued, and therefore push towards freedom.
May I sleep.
I don't know.